Welcome to all inspiring chefs, cooks, and everything in between alike. This is Griever, your guys' host as always. This is my bar, the place I am always at, and this right here, as always, is Shokugeki no Soma. Now, let's get into the latest chapter, ladies and gentlemen, and let's get cooking because, okay, so some of this chapter has me a little hopeful, some of it has me a little hype. Regardless of the direction of the arc, and regardless of all the bad in this chapter, very dialogue heavy, a lot to go over. Hopefully I can keep this under 20 minutes. Let's go into it. Now, alright, so the very beginning, we leave off at the end of the last chapter. Fine, dandy, whatever. I disagree. We knew it was Soma who disagreed and such. And he basically brings up the point that we all made, that we all think, is that, well, just because you scared off, 50% of people, there's still probably a handful of people that still want to take you on. There's still skilled chefs that we haven't seen yet in this tournament. We all, at least we're thinking at this point. And Soma's one of them. He's like, okay, Cross Knives is OP as hell, so you have a broken ability. I don't care. I still want to face you. I still want to do. I'm like, all right, there's Soma for you, doing his thing. Saiga brings up the idea that, the princess doesn't think so anymore. And we'll get into the problem with her character changes. Again, she has a character change within a chapter span, and we'll get into that very shortly. But suffice it to say, we jump over from that. Now, the sit-down that should have happened after the kidnapping and before the Blue tournament, the sit-down that should have happened, and with the entire of the Polar Star dorm crew, is now happening. Okay, weird, alright. But she's basically telling Erina is sitting down with Megumi and Soma and basically telling them all about the bet, the challenge about marrying Ashia and about the kidnapping, we can assume, and all this other stuff. And Megumi's freaking out, if you like Megumi, this is kind of adorable. If not, then it's, it is what it is. And now, first critique, first problem right here is she says, so this is, why you've been like this sort of idea. Erina first admits, yeah, I made a hot-headed decision in the moment. And then she said, so is this why you treated Takumi and the food like that sort of idea? And she goes, yeah, pretty much. I'm like, no, I don't accept the reasoning. It doesn't make sense. She brought it upon herself, and now she's turned into her father's ideal daughter. Over something that, once again, had she had to sit down right away, right after the kidnapping, then, I'm not saying anybody could have done anything about it, but this character swing has got to stop. Mood swings galore. So, suffice it to say, that, first off, is just bull. That makes no sense. She treated Takumi and did a whole... She's been fighting against her father and Central's wishes this entire time, and she pulled a Central. The second that one thing went wrong, and because of her own hot-headedness, she got herself into a challenge situation that she doesn't want to accept. And now she's taking it out on not only the food, totally destroying everything the Regiment de Cuisine was about, pretty much, Central Izami and the whole arc, and treating a fellow Polar Star dorm member like this. Alright, that's my critique. Argue it in the comment section down below, but that's crap. Then we move on to, alright, now we'll get some hype here. So, even though that was crap, they talk about the tournament bracket. And they say, and someone brings it up and says, hey, look, see, here's the tournament bracket. And in a few more matches, basically, I'll actually end up facing Saiga first. Not you, Erina. So, potentially, sorry about your challenge, but I'm planning on beating him before you even get the chance. So, you can face me afterwards, but sorry. Soma doing his thing. And what's hype about this, what's very hype, and this is part, see, I can cool down now. So, crappy reasoning for Takumi and food treatment. Now let's get into, excitement. Who is going to be the one facing Erina in her semifinals? Remember, this tournament, though we didn't see it before, now we have fully seen it. The tournament bracket is not in it's done in a conference style. West, East, Red, Blue, that kind of idea. And Erina, if she were to be in the West Division, she is now a semi-finalist, ready to go into the finals. And Soma and Saiba, by the end of the chapter, they are both the semi-finalists for the East Division. East. Who's the fourth person? Now this could be a nobody that is off-screen or underplayed, or a one-shot character that we never see again, a noir that we've seen and in the background, and then they just get fodderized by Erina. And with the direction of this arc and the treatment of the characters and just the entirety of where this has been going for months, I'm going to say that's what's going to happen. For one thing, the pacing, it's just not going to allow it at this point. The pacing is so fast because the fans hate this, the editors hate this, the ratings are down, they need to finish this up. So they don't have time for something hype, is another reason. But also, I don't think they'd do it if they could, or if they wanted to. But the reason I'm hype is that I hold out a sliver of hope for this, is the fact that it could be Shinomiya. It could be a she. It could be a new character, a disciple of Gin, or someone like that, or Jin, whatever his name is. It could be somebody hype. Someone else. Remember that there are a ton of other Elite 10 members that we've seen in the series, introduced, that have not been seen. There's no Rindo, there's Tsukasa's gone, there's no other member of the Elite 10, former or current. There's no old generation, like Shinomiya's generation or before. And remember, the age limit is 35 and under. And they are all under this age bracket. So there is a potential here for something really hype, the fourth contender. And that's got me a little intrigued, that's got me interested. So, alright. Now, back to critiquing. Back to blood boiling in an overcooked omelet is what I am right now. Because after this, she says, some part of me wants you to lose Soma to him. And she goes on to say that Cross Knives is OP and broken, which it is. And then she goes on to say something so foolish, so stupid. She says, you who do not possess a superhuman power, or prowess, whatever, and it's a miracle that you've even gotten this far. This is shit. This makes no sense. Erina, when she did not want to accept Soma from Volume 1, has not wanted to admit it to herself, but thought his cooking was up here. She's always respected him for that. Grudgingly so, and unaccepting, but can't help deny that this guy thinks outside the box. This guy's flavors speak for themselves. So you're telling me that someone like Megumi, just because she has a superhuman ability, or Takumi, who has a superhuman ability, deserve to be there, can make it as far as they did, but Soma, remember, Soma is who we're talking about, the main character, the Joshiro's son, Elite 10 first seat, the one who did a double battle with Rindo, Tsukasa, and Erina, and came out on top, the one trained by Shinomiya, the one who literally is definitely, if anybody argues with me that Megumi and Takumi are better chefs than Soma, I'm just going to be done with the series and I will drop it. Because that is just foolishness. And she's going to sit there and say, because of this, this thing that was introduced, not for the first 200 chapters, that had no bearing and is a stupid addition, that's the reason. Okay. That entire panel, that entire page of her bullshit. I don't like Erina. I used to like her. I liked her character. I'm done with her character. I don't care. Lose. Become like your mother at this point, because I am so fed up with her treatment of her character, and who am I going to fault? Am I going to keep being ticked at the mangaka, or can I just blame the character? I don't know anymore. I don't know what I can do with this information at this point. A smart, strong-willed woman who's gone through the most character development in the series has been basically fodderized herself by their own mangaka. And then, this whole 180 change with her saying, I hope you lose, he's not beatable, all this stuff. So let me get this straight. If I have this correct, she went through all this stuff, and we won't rehash it anymore, but at the end of the day, she broke through her father's chains, blah, blah, blah. Okay. At the end of the Regiment de Cuisine, she had full character arcs, strong independent woman, took care of business, blah, 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 and now she learned valuable lessons, though. She's no longer the ice queen she once was. She can still be ruthless, but kind. She has learned trust. She has learned friendship, honesty, loyalty. She has learned all this, how to rely on other people. She has learned all this, all these people. And then the moment that something bad happens, one little wrench in the cogs, and she forgets everything she learned, all her life lessons she learned about that, doesn't confide in anybody, keeps to herself about kidnapping, threatening, and a Shokugeki challenge settle, and the Noirs are here. That's kind of a thing. And she doesn't inform anybody of this. And then she waits this long to tell anybody about this. But before then, she decides to revert to not even her Ice Queen self, but exactly what her father wants. Azami, literally now, currently, when she fought Takumi, that is Azami's ideal daughter right there. Beaten into her completely. Now, she's lost to the dark side by that point. What was the point of the entire Regiment de Cuisine arc? Since Azami showed up till now, what was the point if she was just going to become Central's #1 version anyways? Exactly what Azami wanted. And that's exactly what she was against Takumi. She passes it off because she got kidnapped and made a hot-headed decision to accept a challenge where she had no idea of anybody's abilities, and now she's running scared. So now she's admitting it's a hot-headed decision, and she took it out on Takumi. Like, alright, so now she forgot her character development, she went through these stages, and now that she realized very quickly, because once again, the pacing is boom, 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 it's Roadrunner style right now, she now, because of all this, she has literally decided a chapter later to, with one damn panel from Saiga, saying, oh yeah, well, Cross Knives can do it and God Tongue can't. Ha ha ha, you lose already by default. That broke her second reasoning of becoming all Central as Azami's true daughter and is admitting defeat. And she's back to the way she was when Azami showed up at the beginning of his arc. She's back to being a terrified little girl for no reason. She's gone through 3 complete archetype character changes in the span of 5 chapters. This makes no sense. This doesn't fit her character. It's bad. It's just plain bad. And I cannot even like Erina's character anymore. They have literally written her to the point that I dislike her. I prefer Megami over Erina right now. I would take anybody. Like, it is, if this was a soap opera, I'd say kill her off. Because I don't like her anymore. She makes no sense. And I know it's the writing and the pacing's fault. But what am I to do? It's the writer's choice to write their strong-willed, awesome character into being literally bad. There's no other way to look at this. All these mood swings, all these 180s that she does with her personality and her opinion after one chapter. It makes no sense. And then we jump over to Saiga explaining about the God Tongue, and about how he got all this information and how his network of noirs got all the information and they did all this stuff and how he figured it all out about mana, about the God Tongue, about the gourmet world being controlled by this family for so long, and it's because they possess the God Tongue, and it looks like a blessing, but in fact it's a curse, and what's happened to mana happened to everybody else. We already assume that, is that eventually the God Tongue leaves basically a dirt flavor in your mouth, and you can't quench it, then you can't eat, you can't be in the kitchen, you can't smell anything, it's all crap to you, you can't hold food down anymore. The God Tongue is a curse, and nobody wants it in their generation. We see a flashback of Shinzanaman explaining this to Erina, that her mother has to go away, she can't be a part of the food world anymore, she can't be in the kitchen, she can't be cooking, she left the household, and she's going away for a while, and Erina, of course, asking when will mom come back, and Shinzanaman, of course, can't break it to the little girl that she probably won't, or she may never, and this is where we jump over to Erina explaining that part, but simply put, Saiga believes that his cross knives, and I know why he thinks this, is because, once again, it was explained perfectly in my mind in the matchup with Megami, is that Megami pushed that particular cut and grade of beef to its limit, to its 100% potential. The thing is about cross knives is it ignores that factor. He can take a flank steak, a A1 grade, and turn it into Kobe beef with his cross knives. It's bullshit, but that's what the story has told us he can do. And that's why he believes. So what could he do to an actual piece of Kobe beef? Could he make something beyond the greatest beef in the world and make it multiply its flavor beyond what anybody has ever tasted? That's what they were implying, at least as far as I've been reading, about cross knives. And that's why he believes that he can control the family of the God Tongue. He can fix the daughter, he can fix the mother, and then he will basically rule the gourmet world. That's his thing. All because he has some daddy issues with Joshiro and a bad mother, but whatever. I don't know the reasoning here. I don't care, but that's basically what's going on there. Erina explains, once again, basically the other half of all this, as I already said. And then, and then she holds these blue competitions, and Erina admits that, the God Tongue winner is a failure to her mother because there's nothing that the God Tongue can give her that won't. So Erina has now, even though she said, I'm going to take the crown, I'm going to win, to her mother's face, and you have no use for the God Tongue, she already knew it. Now that Saiga said it, now she's all broken up. So even though she knew it, her mother knew it, she actually blatantly told her mother, I know that, but it doesn't matter. And 2 chapters later, gets broken up because one other character told her exactly what she said 2 chapters ago. Whoa. Okay, once again, I think I'm done with Erina's problem because now I hate her character. So the rest of it goes on is that Soma's basically pissed. Soma's basically like, okay, so what I get at the end of the day, you got family issues, and honestly, I don't care right now. Because, you're basically being, he doesn't say that, but he basically goes, so let me get this straight. Family issues, family drama, things that basically, what you're saying at the end of the day, do not concern me. I'm going to leave. Bye. And at this point, once again, Okay. Let's get into the hype moment because I've had enough blood boiling time. I'm going to have to check my blood pressure after this, check my pulse, people, because I think I have neck vein problems coming up here. I can feel my heart just boom, boom, boom for this. This is just... Okay, time for a beer. So at the end of the day, at the end of the chapter, Soma and Saiga are showing up. So here is a positive. They didn't waste time with the whole, when they show the tournament bracket, got to beat a couple more people, then it's me versus Saiga, assuming he makes it all the way, and of course, he will. And they do. So, fine dandy. We're going to finally have the matchup between Soma, who apparently does not have a superhuman ability. Of course he does. He's going to go Bankai next chapter, whatever. And it's Saiga versus him. Now, he is now more serious side. This is the Soma. I will admit, the last few pages of the chapter were great. They were great for what it is, because remember when the Polar Star dorm was going to be destroyed and stuff, and people were crying and stuff like our dorm's going to be destroyed? Soma had that serious look in his eye. There was no more bullshit, and he just had that look, that frowning face that he doesn't do often. That's when you know, alright, this is my main character being a badass. This is when my main character is going to put his foot down and be like, alright, I'm a good guy. I let you get away with stuff, but it's ending now. I'm not playing anymore. I'm not doing it for myself anymore. It's always for the sake of his friends. He might have told Erina, this is trivial family matters that don't concern me. It does concern him. He knows it. He's not going to tell anybody that. In the same way, he has never told anybody he does what he does. He always does it for his friends and stuff. So, anyways, here at the end, it's him versus Saiga, of course, and he basically stares him down. And the artwork is, once again, the artwork is still fantastic. That's something to take away. And he basically says, yeah, cross knives, blah, blah, blah. But here, at the end of the day, you will never, ever be able to make Erina happy. Whoa! Okay, throwing down that shade. All right. And he says, oh, some pretty mature words come from an insolent child like you, sort of idea. And I'm like, dude, you are not that much older. Like, how much older is he? Is he like my age? Is he like 28? Because calling a like 17, 18-year-old a child when you're like 21 is some high school drama bullshit that nobody cares. Nobody cares. Like, no. That's, yeah. Anyways, I'm curious to know what type of cross knives effect, which knives Saiba's going to use against Soma. Is this where, Soma will have to. Soma's going to have to awaken his Bankai, his superhuman ability. He's going to have to awaken it here. Once again, I believe it's another version of cross knives. That's why in the panel we see everyone showing up. We see Joshiro showing up. We see Susanuma showing up. But we also see the Polar Star dorm members hurrying towards the hall. That's why I said, I've been saying it for a long time, ladies and gentlemen. This is what's got me hyped. I think I'm right. I think that was some actual good foreshadowing in the matchup against the 4th seed in the Regiment du Cuisine. I always forget his name. Sushi Master. And he pulled out multiple swords that kept being broken. That was the original version. That's the good guy version of cross knives. He doesn't steal two people's knives and multiply. He uses a consistent amount of his friend's cooking, gifted to him, given to him willingly. Flavors he's known and cooked with because he's learned and trusted and loved and all that stuff. And he's just going to keep pulling out multiple katanas, doing a Kuzuryu-sen from Kenshin, hitting all 9 points at once so you can't block it no matter what sort of idea. He's going to do some of that shit, and it's going to be actually good. Please let that be his latent superhuman ability. That's why he's never used it. That's why nobody thinks he has it, is because it's not something he pulls out all the time. Because he always likes to use his own flavors. But when he actually needs to rely on the power of his friends, that's when it comes out. It's something he doesn't need a superhuman ability to be one of the greatest chefs. And that's what makes him awesome. That's what makes him interesting. And that's why Erina's assessment of him being a miracle getting to the 3rd gate is total crap. Especially since he clearly fodderized the quarterfinalist. Because he's a semi-finalist with no superhuman ability. So, alright. So, nope, not good. The blood pressure ain't going to rise again. Blood pressure ain't going to rise. What did you guys think of the review? What did you think of the chapter? Once again, as you can tell, this has got me going like this. This has got me, I'm a hamster on a spinning wheel right now. I'm happy as hell. I'm mad as hell. I'm all over the map here. So, let me know what you guys thought of the chapter. Sorry about the lengthy review. Usually this is only reserved for my One Piece reviews and stuff being this long. But, yeah, so this chapter needed a long review. It needed a lot of talk. But tell me what you guys thought down in the comment section down below. As always, like, comment, and subscribe. Always appreciated. Every view counts. This has been Griever with your Shokugeki no Soma Chapter 304 review. As always, keep cooking, drink responsibly, and we'll see you back here next time.